Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Affinity Designer version 2 or version 1 to create grids for setting up and making dungeon maps. My name is Glynn and welcome to Role-Playing Cartography. Hi. So I'm going to show you today about Affinity Designer and Affinity Designer version 2, which is what's on screen at the moment. And it's basically similar to Affinity Designer version 1. So you won't really see much difference in what I'm showing you on screen if you're using version 1. So the basis for creating a map solely in Affinity Designer is to get a grid set up so that you've got something that you can snap to and create in the 5 feet increments or whatever your sizing is. So I'll just create a new file and I've got this set to letter size and landscape. We'll leave it at 300 dpi, we'll leave it as RGB, and we'll switch off the margins. And we don't need any bleed for this at the moment, although you could do that if you're creating for print. So here we have a blank paper, and you'll see that under the view menu show grid is switched off. We'll just switch that on. There's a default grid there, and if we go to view grid and axis, click basic, we can change the spacing of the grid square. So if we put 0.25 inches in, we've got our 1/4 inch grid. Now if we had a 1 inch grid, we could add some subdivisions to that, 4 subdivisions, and we could make the main grid lines bigger. So you've got a 1/4 inch grid, but it's also got inch grid overlapped on top of it. Hello, Glynn from Monkey Blood Design here. This is the point in the video where I remind you to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, share and comment. Thank you. What I would normally do if I was using 1/4 inch grids is set that to 0.25, just have the 1 subdivision. It doesn't matter about this because there's no subdivisions, and just take that back slightly. You can see that I've saved this as a preset. It's actually the 0.25 inch square grid. But let's say that I'm working in millimeters and I want a 5mm square grid. If you just go to the document setup, change inches to millimeters, click OK, go to the view grid and axis menu and just change that to 5mm. Now also, before we just accept that, we can do something called show the axis editing handles, and this allows us to move and center the grid. So you can see there that that's pretty much snapped to the center of the spread, and that's because up here in the snapping menu we've got snap to spread and include the spread midpoints selected. We've also got snap to grid, and we're going to need that on. So I'm clicking close. Actually I'll just switch off that editing handle so I don't move it accidentally, and then when I zoom in, if I grab a rectangle, you'll see that the rectangle is snapping to these squares, the intersection of the grid lines, nicely. And we can just take 2 objects, add them together, give it a stroke, and then you can see how we can start to build a dungeon map. So in the next video we'll do some more work on that and create something cool. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you found something useful. Why not consider supporting what I do here by heading over to the Monkey Blood web store at www.monkeyblooddesign.co.uk. Check out handy maps, handy A5 size maps that you can use as game inspiration. There's towns and villages, buildings and structures, and dungeons, caves and strange locales, and you can use these within your game as inspiration, populate them for your players to explore and pillage. Enjoy. Thank you.